So, hello everyone, welcome back to the Salesforce learning sessions. So, in today's video, we are going to understand two most important Salesforce field types, which is your formula type field, and second one is your roll-up summary type field. So, these two fields are sometimes feel confusing because both calculate values automatically. However, they perform very different types of calculations. So, let's get start with the session. So here are the topics we will cover in this video. So first we will understand the main difference between formula and roll-up summary type fields. Then we will understand the formula field including its behavior, syntax, return types and common examples. After that we will learn about roll-up summary type fields and their four supported operations like count, sum, min, max. These are the like aggregated operations. And after that we will understand the directions of relationship and why a master detail relationship is important for native roll-up summaries. After that, I will explain the step-by-step process of creating both types of fields in Salesforce. And then finally, we will understand their limitations and the combined approach of using both formula field and a roll-up summary field with an example. Okay. So let's start with the first, the core difference. The important difference is the scope of the calculation basically. So the formula field calculates a value for an individual record. So for example, suppose there is an opportunity which has a amount field, and suppose that amount field has 1 lakh rupees amount, and we want to calculate like 10% of that amount field. Then for that we can create a we can say formula field for that. For example, we can use a formula field on opportunity object that we are saying like calculated amount, and we can use the formula amount multiplied by 0.10. So this calculation is basically performed separately for every opportunity is created into the system, or the amount if the amount field is updated every time when a opportunity is created and there is a amount data in the opportunity object. The formula field is calculated on that amount value. Same is for roll-up summary field. It basically behaves differently. It basically summarizes multiple child or detail records. For example, Salesforce maintain master to child detail, or we can say like master detail relationship. For example, we have account and we have contact. So account object basically behave like our master object, and that contact which is associated with that account behave like the detail record. So roll-up summary of formula field basically works on master detail configurations. For example, we have an account and it has some related opportunities, and that opportunity field has amount field, and we want all the opportunities into the system that is associated with some account. We want to check all the opportunities and check the amount value and do the sum of all the opportunity related amounts and return its value to the account field. So this is the basically approach where that summary formula fields basically uses. So the easiest way we can say to remember this is we can say a formula field calculate the value on a record, or uh, we can say master to detail value, or we can say a particular uh, account particular record. And while on the other side, a roll up summary field basically summarizes all the detailed records value to its master record. Next is your formula field calculates value when record is created. Okay, so here we will discuss about like how formula field basically works. So in our Salesforce, a formula field is basically a read only fields, means when it is created and updated once through the value, or we can say the formula we used, it cannot be changed manually, or we can say through other sources like data loader, or we can say integrations, API updates, imports. Once the value is calculated, user cannot change it or edit it manually. So whenever one of the field used into the formula changes, for example, we have used we are using a formula like close date minus today's date, that calculates the number of days remaining before an opportunity close date. So if we all understand that today function changes every day, so the displayed result can change change even if nobody manually edits the opportunity, because the date function is changing on daily basis. So based on that, our formula field triggers every time when the today function changes, and it will calculate the value again and update the value into the particular opportunity object. So formula field can also be displayed on basically record page. We can check it on reports. We can check it via list view, as it is shown in the report, or we can say in the screenshot. Here we can check that we can see the days to close field, in our report as well. Okay, so here are three common formula patterns. Let's understand these. First is your arithmetic calculation. So for example, amount is multiplied by 0.10, as I given the example in the last slide. If the opportunity amount is 1 lakh rupees, the formula field returns a commission of 0.10%. So this is our arithmetic calculation. So formula field supports this arithmetic calculation. Second is your date calculation. So formula field also supports date calculation. So suppose close date minus today, as I mentioned earlier as well. So this returns the number of days remaining until the opportunity closes. So it second one is your date calculation. Third is your cross object reference. So this formula for example, account number. So this formula can be created on contact object to display the account number from the related account. So one of the most important point is that the formula return type must be matched with the result. For example, a currency calculation should return a currency value, or we can say if text result should return a text value, and we can say a boolean type true or false condition can return a checkbox. Okay, so the formula we have created should match the we can say should match the result. Use the advanced formula editor safely. Okay, so this screenshot basically shows the Salesforce advanced formula editor. So using this we can I will explain you how we create the formula field in Salesforce. So number one is here we have given some numbers 1 2 3 4 5 6. So I will explain by number. So number one is the option to switch between simple or advanced type of formula editor. The advanced editor is recommended because it provides additional tools. Number second is insert field button. It basically allows us to select standard fields. It can be your custom fields, or it can be your supported related object field. So we use insert field button because it is safe to use instead of manually typing the API names, especially when we create cross object formulas. So we should always use insert field button for while we are referring some object field. Third is your insert operator. So it basically includes the operators such as your addition, subtractions, multiplications, division, greater than, less than. These are the operators. We can, if we want to insert any operator, then we can use number 3, insert operator button. Fourth is your functions basically. So if we want to apply any function, or we want to create some complex if else based or conditional based functional based formula, in that case we can use number 4, functions drop down. Here, from here we can choose if, case, today, text, is blank, is not blank kind of functions. Fifth is basically the area where all we basically, it is kind of editor where we whatever we select, whether it is operator, whether it is custom object, whether it is your functions, it will be shown over here. It is basically your formula field area, formula area basically. So finally we have number 6. In number 6 basically we check the syntax. If we click the check syntax button, so it will basically identify the missing brackets, incorrect parameters, invalid fields, or incompatible return types. So it will help us to check the formula that we have created before deploying it uh, Next is your roll up summary, push child information to the master. Okay, so here we will understand about roll up summary field, how roll up summary field basically works. So a roll up summary field basically calculate information from several related details, as I like mentioned earlier. Unlike your formula field, it basically gets the information from the detail, or we can say the child objects, and then displays the result on your master records. So in this example, the account is your master record, and related opportunities are your opportunities are the records that we want to summarize. So the account contains a field called as sum of opportunities, so it will get the like sum of amount of opportunities sum of opportunity amounts for the individual opportunity records. Okay, so Salesforce basically calculates this field using the amount value of the like related opportunities. Next is okay. Okay, so the most important point is that our roll up summary field is created on master records, not like on detail record as we create on formula fields. Okay, so next we will, as we understood for formula type field, here are also some operations that we perform on roll up summary operation, roll up summary fields. First is your count, so it basically returns the number of related detailed records. Second is your sum, it basically adds the values of the selected records. And third is your min, so basically it returns the smallest value. Max is your function that basically returns the largest value. So we can choose the operations according to the business requirements, like how many, how much, or we can say which is the smallest, which is the biggest record. So what, as per our business logic, we can choose the operations on roll up summary fields. Next is your filter. Okay, so here we will understand how roll up summary records, how filtering basically used in roll up records. So a roll up record does not always need to include every child records. When we say that the roll up summary formula fields basically applied on the master records and it fetches all the detailed record, it doesn't mean that it includes all the child records. We can apply we can define the filter criteria so that we can choose only the qualifying records to participate in the calculation. So in this example, we want to calculate the total amount of closed opportunities. So we have total 3 opportunities. Opportunity A is having criteria that it is closed one kind of opportunities and it has amount value of 50,000. It is like 50,000 rupees. Okay, and opportunity B is your prospecting stage basically opportunity, and it doesn't have any it also has amount which is your 40,000 rupees, but we will not include it because its stage is not closed one. It is your prospecting type of opportunity. Third is your again your closed one type of opportunity is it, and it has your 30,000 rupees amount value. So we will apply the roll up summary formula field on this, and we can say the value we will get through roll up summary amount summary formula field is 80,000 rupees, because the 30,000 is not included, because 30,000 or 40,000 is not included because of that filtering criteria didn't match for this opportunity. Okay, so yes, one more thing, if the opportunity B later changes from prospecting to closed one, so it will check the roll up summary formula field triggers again, and it will include that opportunity B related amount as well, and it will basically include that 40,000 rupees value into the calculation. Next is your relationship directions, determine which field works basically. So here we will understand the relationship direction, which is one of the most important concept. So basically a cross object formula field generally reads information from parent record and displays it on child records. For example, contact can use a formula field formula to display the industry from related account. So we can, the formula direction is parent account to child contact. While in roll up summary formula fields, it basically works opposite to formula field. Basically it collects the values from multiple multiple child records and update its value to the master record. So the we can say it is the formula field direction is top to bottom. We are fetching the detail from master record and updating its child value, while in roll up summary formula fields the data, we can say the data direction is bottom to top direction. Because we are fetching the multiple detailed records value and we are combining those displayed value and then basically updating that value to the master record. Okay. Okay, so creating a formula field. So here we will understand like how we create a formula field. So here are some steps that we need to follow while we want to create the formula field. So first we will go to the setup, and under setup we have object manager. Under object manager we will select the standard or custom object on which we want to create the field, and we will open the field and relationship field and relationship, and click on new. So on after clicking on new we will select the formula field as a final field type, and we will enter the field label, choose the correct formula return type such as currency, number, date, checkbox. Next we will use the advanced formula editor to build our formula. For this example, we can enter like amount multiplied by 0.10. uh, we will check the syntax and resolve if there is any like error displayed on the screen. Finally we will configure the like field level securities, select the page layout and save the field. After saving the field, basically we can test the formula with normal values like blank values, boundary values, and different user permissions. Okay, so these are the steps basically we use for like creating the formula field. Next is your roll up summary formula field that is created basically on master object. So here same is here. We will first go to the setup, then object manager, then we will open the master object basically, because the roll up summary formula field always created on the master object. Then we go to field and relationship, then click on new button, and after that we will choose the like formula field type. So it will be our roll up summary kind of field, so we will choose the roll up summary field. Then we basically select the summarized detailed object, then choose the function, what kind of operation we want to perform on the field. It can be a count, sum, min, max. Then we will select the aggregate field if any required. Then after that we can add the here you can see we can as I discussed earlier as well, that it is not always required to fetch all the detailed records. If we want to filter the data, filter the records from the detailed record, then we can add the filters criteria and save that formula field. After that we have combining both the field types. Okay, so we cannot say that formula or formula field or your roll up summary field are competing features. We can use them together as well. In this example we have used a job application that has multiple review records. First we create a roll up summary field to count the number of reviews. Next we can create another roll up summary field to calculate the total review scores. And now the both values are available in the job applications. We can create a formula field to calculate the average score basically. So the formula divides the total review score and by the number of reviews. So if the condition checks if condition basically checks that the number of reviews is not zero, so this basically prevents the divide by zero error. So this is the basically approach. We can use both formula field and your roll up summary kind of field all together. Okay, next is your limitations and alternatives. So we should understand the limitations before selecting a solution. Okay, sorry. So a formula field cannot basically iterate through a related list. Therefore it cannot directly count sum or multiply child records. So a native roll up summary formula field requires an eligible basically direct master detail relationship. Okay, and it is also very limited to like count, sum, min, max, with restrictions on the types of like field that can be aggregated basically. Next is your quick knowledge check. Okay, so I have explained, I tried my best to explain the difference between formula field and roll up summary formula field and how to create. I have explained about like the steps to create all like formula field or roll up summary kind of field in Salesforce. So here is your quick knowledge check questions. So first is your show account industry on each record, each related contact. So we need to display the account industry on every related contact. So now tell me, should we use a formula field or roll up summary kind of field in comment section. Second is your we need to count expense records basically, or we can say the amount records related to like every project you can consider it as amount, oh sorry, account. So tell me like which operations we basically need to get the count expense record related to every project. Third is your some child records connected only by lookup. So tell me this. uh, okay, so thank you for watching this video. I hope you should not now be able to explain the difference between formula field and roll up summary field and decide which one is the appropriate for your Salesforce requirement. So if you find this video helpful, please like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to the channel for more Salesforce related tutorials. So if you have any questions, please leave them in comments. Thank you. Keep learning and building. Thank you.